And looking to make Mama proud. Bryce Harper returns to the lineup, ready to put his best foot forward. Ian Desmond takes a few shots at building on his league-leading extra base hit total. And Gio starts for the 8th time, poised to back up his win last time out. Nats, Cubs, Masson HD. It is a clear and bright Mother's Day. It is a little cool at the yard. There's a big-time breeze blowing in from right down at that Navy Yard station. Pink lineup card, pink bats, wristbands, pink seams on the baseball. It's all about Mom today, and why not? And it's all about winning a series for the Nats. Tough one yesterday, trying to bounce back today. Hey, they still won 7 of their last 9. And a week ago today, Gio, really rough start in Pittsburgh, and then he gathered himself and pitched a fantastic game.
You forgot pink partner, but yeah, we'll go to Gio Gonzalez last time out. I thought he did a nice job battling through a tough first inning. It looked like the wheels were going to come off. Steve McCatty went to the mound, righted the ship after a first pitch home run to Starling Marte, and Gio Gonzalez settled down. I think the changeup of all pitches is what saved Gio Gonzalez's last outing. He relied on it heavily, a little hug to Steve McCatty, and everything was good.
And then, of course, there's Ian Desmond. Last couple of games, absolutely on fire. 6 out of 8, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. Batting average is up to the 300 mark. This is a guy who keeps producing game after game after game, and not just singles either. University College, and by Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. A little chilly on the waters of the Anacostia today, I can guarantee you that. Quite a wind ripping down from the north right now, and it's going to be a little chilly at Nationals Park today. So the Cubs and the Nats play a rubber game of this 3-game series. Train celebrating its 100th anniversary by offering irresistible financing. It's hard to stop a train really hard. So mostly sunny, but look at the winds, 21 miles an hour from the west-northwest. It'll be 65 degrees when Gio throws his first pitch in a moment. Cubs are 14-22. The Nats are 20-16, and their 12-8 record, fourth best win total at home in the big leagues. Gio has been a central conqueror since the beginning of last year, and then Scott Feldman has won his 3 starts. He signed a 1-year free agent contract with the Cubs after a bunch of years with the Rangers. So Starlin Castro's back in the leadoff spot today. 4-for-7 career against Gio Gonzalez. And Alfonso Soriano, hitting .273, has done most of his damage against left-handed pitchers this year. Soriano 2-for-6 against Gio. That'll be a matchup to keep an eye on today. 4th career start for Gio against the Cubs. 1-1 in the previous 3 with a .574 ERA. And he's going with the sleeves today on a cool day.
Last time out, just talked about it, Sunday at Pittsburgh. Battled through a tough first inning to get the 6-2 win. He worked 6 innings, giving up just 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 5, walked 2, threw 102 pitches, 63 of those for strikes. So 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, averaging 92 miles an hour, curveball change to go with it. Get this, last time out, he threw the changeup almost 30% of the time, and on the year he's been averaging that pitch about 8% of the time. Set the defense for the Nats behind Gio, or the Gios behind the Nats. Lombardozzi, Span, Harper in the outfield. Desmond Zimmerman on the left side. Espinosa, LaRoche on the right side. And Kurt Suzuki doing the catching. And Steve Lombardozzi getting the nod in left field today. He was out here, I'd say about 11 o'clock this morning, maybe a hair earlier, taking fungos from Tony Tarasco in the outfield. The Nationals didn't take batting practice today, but he was out here working on his defensive skills with nobody else on the field.
John Tumpane, junior member of the umpiring crew, actually in his 3rd year now, doing some major league games along with his minor league work. Paul Nart, Angel Hernandez, the crew chief, and Doug Eddings, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So the first time we've seen John Tumpane behind the plate. We'll see what kind of strike zone he has as Gio duels with Scott Feldman. Starlin Castro, 3-for-10 with an RBI in the series, steps in. First pitch on the way. It's a strike at 137. Castro at 271. Cubs are 9th in the league in batting average, 11th in runs, but they're in the top 4 in home runs. Hot shot. Danny Espinosa right there to start the game with a 2-pitch out. That'll bring in Cody Ransom and then Anthony Rizzo. So Gio making his 8th start. League only hitting .218 against him. Control's been a problem at times. Just over a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. 41 Ks in 38 innings, 20 walks. Cody Ransom, an RBI. 2-for-5 in the series. And like the rest of the Cubs, most of those hits doubles. He goes up swinging. This is Ian Desmond on the move. 3 pitches, 2 ground ball outs. STG Inc. takes us inside the numbers. Find out why the government and employees choose STG Inc. Interesting, Jordan goes tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium. But FP, one guy having a hard time with the economy, and the other one is a master economist when it comes to pitches.
Well, I think Gio Gonzalez, one of his best strengths is being effectively wild, but that average is going down as we speak. 3 pitches, 2 outs for Gio.
And he throws a strike to Anthony Rizzo, who's had a really good series.
And what do I mean by that? As a hitter, when you step in there and you don't know you're getting a strike, and the guy's throwing mid-90s with a nasty curveball changeup combination, it's not a comfortable at-bat. You can't just dig in and swing knowing that he's going to be around the plate. And that's what I mean by effectively wild. But first curveball from Gio Gonzalez to Anthony Rizzo, a dandy.
And the 0-2 pitch. Fastball sails upstairs. Rizzo in this series, 3 RBIs, 5 hits. And he's 2nd in the league with 19 extra base hits, right behind Ian Desmond.
It's also really hard to be a power guy and have command and have both of those things going on. I think Jordan Zimmerman probably the exception to the rule. You throw hard, it's tough to hit spots. That's your deal, right? You're not a guy that throws 89. You throw 95.
Busted bat, and Gio has it. An 8-pitch, 9-pitch first inning for Gio Gonzalez. Staggered a bit, We've seen some line drives right back at pitchers.
Glove saving a beauty.
Yeah. Gonzalez evidently okay after taking that line drive to the backhand side. Starting lineup brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Kurt Suzuki, 7 of 17 with runners in scoring position. And by the way, one ball hit safely today would be his 700th career hit in this series. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. Pretty much the standard guys out there, as FP told you. Lombardozzi gets the start. Scott Feldman has never faced the Nats in his American League career with Texas. He had a 17-8 season in 09 when he threw 190 innings. Has had trouble duplicating that since. Went 6-11 last year. Cubs signed him as a free agent at the age of 30.
And last time out, May 6 against Texas, got the 9-2 win. Scattered 2 hits over 7 scoreless innings. Struck out 3, walked 1 through 102 pitches, 63 of those for a strike. So two-seam fastball, averaging 91 miles an hour. Cutter are his 2 main pitches, an occasional curveball as well. He'll cut it and sink it, move it around, keep it down. Throttle you on both sides of the plate. And after starting 0-3, he is 3-0 with a 1.59 and 17 strikeouts in his last 3 starts.
He's a big man at 6'7", 230. That's in there to Denard Span, who's faced him 14 times. Kurt Suzuki 17 times. So the former American leaguers, I'm sure, helping their Nationals teammates today as far as what to look for from this right-hander. Denard hitless in the series. With the walk, he's not hitless anymore. Plugs the gap in left center. Sweeney turns around and throws. Safe with a double. Bottom of the first, off to a good start.
And there goes the no-hitter. And wouldn't you know, the first base hit of this baseball game has been kind of the theme of this series. Doubles. And Denard Span gets a 2-seam fastball down and away. Rides it in the left center field gap. Good hustle right here by Ryan Sweeney to get over there. Makes it fairly close at second base with the speedy Span. And that's how this one starts. A leadoff double from Denard Span.
8th extra base hit, 6th double. That'll bring in Steve Lombardozzi, who's an ideal hitter to have up in a situation like this, where you're looking to move a runner. Lombardozzi in this series, and he doesn't bite on that outside pitch. He'd rather pull it if he can. 1 for 1 with a pinch triple yesterday. 36 at bats from the left side this year, 7 hits.
So this is where Scott Feldman's going to go with the 2-seam fastball away, and it's up to Steve Lombardozzi to go out there and try to hook it to the right side.
Well, he is a contact man. No question about that. 53 official at bats. He's only struck out 4 times. look at that one that just misses. So 3 in a row out there by Feldman, and the count's 2-1.
Well, you talk about bunting early in a game. A lot of people don't like that play, and I understand why. But for a left-handed hitter facing a sinker ball guy when the ball is running away from you, unless you get right on top of the plate, it's hard to take that sinker, get around it, and hit it to the right side.
Lombardozzi does pull it, but he pops it up. Anthony Rizzo makes the call and stays with it, 1 out. Most talked about toe in Washington, D.C., and now they might be the most talked about feet. Here comes Bryce Harper with the pink spikes on, returning to the lineup.
Those are fancy. I like them.
My question is, if you go 4 for 4 on Mother's Day, do you have to turn in your pink bat? Could you use it the next day?
I don't think the league will allow it, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's some guys that want to do it.
Bryce, of course, going with his traditional model today.
With the pants down during a day game, usually has the high socks. Probably didn't look good with the pink shoes and the red stirrups.
Yeah, good call.
It's your fashion police segment of the show.
Yeah, and you are the chief of police in that phase of the department.
I am. I like those.
Bryce with 17 extra base hits despite the time missed. Still the 7th most in the league. Up and away 2-0. So only Span, LaRoche, and Suzuki in the lineup today have faced Scott Feldman. Still only one of 3 hitters in the league in double digits with home runs. And a 2-0, and Bryce just looks at it outside, ball 3.
Yeah, he doesn't want a whole lot to do with Bryce Harper right here. First base open. Ryan Zimmerman on deck.
High in the zone, outer half. 3 balls, 1 strike. Outfield deep. Straight away. Infield to pull just a bit against Harper. Castro staying behind Span, then he retreated right as Feldman went into his set position.
Truck is telling me that Bryce Harper's using Miguel Cabrera's bat. So triple crown in the box right now along the side of Bryce Harper.
You know, Bryce signs a baseball from Miguel, you get a bat in return. That's a good deal. 3-1 pitch. He'll walk with that bat. I'm sure that bat's been pitched around before.
Well played. Let's set the defense for the Cubbies today behind Scott Feldman. Soriano, Sweeney, Hairston in the outfield. Castro, Ransom on the left side of the infield. Barney Rizzo on the right side. And Deanna Navarro doing the catching.
Ryan Zimmerman, 2 walks, a base hit in the series. 6 for 24 since coming off the DL. Early RBI opportunity. Trying to add to his total of 12.
Maybe a little extra incentive, too, after the pitch around to Bryce Harper.
Man, way up the middle is Barney, the second baseman. That'll be a called strike, and Ryan really turned his head in surprise to the rookie umpire.
Well, that's one of those where as a hitter, you're just like, I'm 1-0, that ball's not even close, and all of a sudden you hear a sound and you look back and say, excuse me?
You know, and that's interesting because John Tumpain is set up over the left shoulder of Deanna Navarro. A lot of umpires won't give the strike on the off shoulder they're not looking over, but he did. That's way outside, counts even. Of course, Ryan and his mom Cheryl very close over the years. She was stricken with MS when Ryan was 10 years old. His Zims Foundation with the capital MS at the end. Many, many years helping out MS funding and research. And that ball is jacked, heading for the scoreboard. It will be dropped at the board by Scott Hairston. Span comes home at third base. Harper, Zimmerman RBI double. His mom Cheryl will love that. And the Nats are on top.
You walk him to get to me. There had to be a little extra incentive right there in that bat for Ryan Zimmerman. And nobody feels better than the guy standing on second base right now. A couple of hard-hit balls here in the first inning. First, Denard Span, now Ryan Zimmerman. And Trenton Jewett almost had to send Denard Span right there because Bryce Harper was breathing down his throat. If you hold Denard Span at third base, you got a two-car pileup. You see the effort from Hairston right there going up against the wall. A nice piece of hitting right there for Ryan Zimmerman. After some things that happened yesterday, that has to feel good for him to get off to a good start here today.
Absolutely. Looked like the ball hit the scoreboard, then hit Hairston. Nats on top, and a big RBI chance now for Adam LaRoche, looking for his first of this series. But he does have 3 hits against the Cubs. 0 for 1 career against Feldman. Harper way down the line because Cody Ransom's 30 feet off the bag. And of course, Ransom has to stay home on the left side because of the runners. Cubs, like most ball clubs, usually play a shift on LaRoche. Not this time. 8-game hitting streak, 12 for his last 25. Well, the Nats got off to a good start with a couple of runs in the second inning on Friday. They've broken on top here. Fastball by Adam LaRoche at 91 upstairs.
Get into a 2-0 count, take a shot. Yeah, May has been very good to Adam LaRoche, 4.14 average, and he said it's all he needed to do is see a turn of the calendar. There's the numbers to prove it.
.480 during his hitting streak, and a 2-1 that he fouls.
All right, those a couple of shots for yourself now. 2-strike count, shorten up. This one's for the ball club. Infield back. Put the ball in play, get yourself an RBI, and put your team up 2-0.
Two-two pitch. LaRoche offered. He went, says Doug Ennings. And he's gone, 2 down.
A pretty good curveball right here from Feldman. Did he go?
Pretty far. It'll be up to Ian Desmond. Who would you rather have at the plate here? And I know Danny Espinosa is a left-handed batter, switch hitter next. But you know the Cubs are aware of what this guy's doing with the bat. It'll be really interesting to see how they pitch him here.
I imagine he's going to get a lot of cut fastballs on the outer half. Let's see where they go. There's one.
Well outside. Inside the numbers with STG Inc. So his hits, equal opportunity. Home runs, equally left and center. Ian Desmond indeed using the entire ballpark. That's how you hit 300.
Yeah, but you say entire, it's entire. And all the extra base hits, he's using the gaps, every bit of both gaps. Using the lines.
But how many shortstops can have half their home runs to center field?
Yeah, 6 times this year he's used the seats. So he's using the entire ballpark.
I like to see him use the left field bullpen right here. That's out of play off to the right side. Pretty good rip on 2-0. Third base Harper. Second base Zimmerman. Ryan the RBI, his 13th. on a pitch up and in, and fouled it back.
And that's what Feldman will do to you, just throttle you side to side. You know, cutters away, sinkers into right-handers. When he's truly effective, those pitches are at the bottom of the strike zone. So far here in the first inning, they haven't been. He's throwing strikes, but if you watch his last outing against Texas, everything was at the knees or below.
Big 2-2 pitch here. 2 on, 2 out. And Desmond, a good take on a breaking ball away.
Almost the same location as strike one to Ryan Zimmerman. Different pitch, same location. Didn't get the call.
Check out Mercedes-Benz on the web at nbusa.com with our pitch track. Desmond, 17 RBIs, 5 of them in this series. Good take, bases loaded. Taking what the game gives you. And that's not easy for Ian. That's only his 4th walk this season. 2 free passes in the inning. It'll be up to Danny Espinosa.
I mean, obviously, Davy Johnson, the Nats would like to cash in right here and have a 2 or 3, 4 run lead going into the second. But the bottom line with this inning is Scott Feldman has had a high stress first here, throwing a lot of pitches, 26 as we speak, but not just the amount of pitches, the type of pitches he's had to throw here. Quality strikes, trying to nibble to get out of this, going to his ace stuff right here out of the gate. That might come back to haunt him later in this game.
Espinosa takes a breaking ball. He's now thrown 15 balls among those 27 pitches. Danny 2 for 8, couple of RBIs in the series, and he sits safely in 6 of his last 7 games.
I guess my point is he's going to the well right now in the first, and that doesn't bode well for a long day because he's going to his A+ stuff to try to get out of a jam right out of the gate.
Well, Chris Bosio counting along with his pitcher. On a pitch up, Danny Espinosa late for it, 90. STG Inc. inside the numbers. Nobody on. Danny almost an automatic out. Runners on. He is almost an automatic RBI. So the second largest difference in the National League from bases empty to men aboard. Target away. Left field. That ball carrying out to Soriano. His little skip and hop and catch. The Nats will score a run on the Zimmerman RBI and strand 3. 1-0 Nationals lead the Cubs on Mother's Day here at Nationals Park. Second inning presented by Luna. Call for the Luna double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. A day to honor our moms. And I know I've realized over the years, along with others whose moms are no longer with us, it's a day when you remember your mom and nothing but the good things come to mind. It's a wonderful day. Soriano, first pitch. Bryce Harper, right field. Gio Gonzalez, 9 pitches, 4 outs. Stark contrast from the crazy first inning and start to the game he had in Pittsburgh last week.
I feel like that was a game plan for the Pirates last week against Gio, was attack early, and you're seeing the same thing here from the Cubs today. Game plan, get that first fastball and get your at-bat over with, whether you're standing on second or back in the dugout. Seems like the Cubs don't want to go deep into a count right now against Gio.
Scott Hairston 1 for 3 in the series. Got the start against Ross Detweiler on Friday night, had a double in 3 trips. He's 4 for 14 with a home run against Gio career. In the air, and I would believe the wind would push this out of Adam LaRoche's reach, and it does. Blues Travelers coming June 8th. It's after a 4:05 Saturday game against the Twins. The Nats Live free postgame concert series. Game tickets start at $10. Go to nationals.com/Nats Live. And you have to have a ticket for the June 8th game to stay in the ballpark or get into the ballpark for the concert. Oh-2 to Hairston. Good looking breaking ball, just low.
And command's been good here early from Gio Gonzalez. Curveball just misses down.
Nissan on the pitch track.
Pitch track always catches the pitch out in front of the plate.
And a ball slapped out to center. Here comes Denard Span. I think at this pitch count last week, Gio had faced maybe 2 batters, and today he's retired 5. So things going well. Ryan Sweeney will be next. He just has to keep it going now. Sweeney, 28-year-old outfielder, longtime Oakland Athletic. 63 games with the Red Sox last year. Cubs picked him up as a minor league free agent just after opening day this season. He is sharp. In fact, a couple of former teammates dueling here. And Sweeney will pop it off to the left side.
They played together in Oakland.
Ryan there, 08 through 2011. Most games, 134 in 09 when he hit 293 and drove in 53. Whoa, what a good looking 0-2 pitch. Close.
Boy, Gio Gonzalez hitting his spots early in this game. Kurt Suzuki setting up off the plate, and Gio says, okay, I'll go out there with you. Let's try to buy a call. Didn't get it.
Well, I don't know what to say about that one.
Well, not getting the calls, and what you can say is he's hitting his spots. And I think more important right now than getting these calls, and Kurt Suzuki trying to frame that one too, didn't get it.
According to the pitch track, John Tumpane made the right call there. Now the count goes to 3-2.
I just love the way Kurt Suzuki frames pitches. It's not always with his glove, it's with his body. He'll catch the pitch and then give a little lean in with his body to try to create a strike.
And Sweeney waging a good battle here with 2 outs.
Most catchers turn their glove, they'll yank their glove back in. It's all Kurt Suzuki does is simply catch the pitch and then kind of give it a little lean with his body back into the strike zone.
Foul tip. Suzuki holds on.
And then he does that.
Yeah, hit the mitt, hit his chest protector, and he never let it get to the ground. Pitcher, catcher, a little mask as well. Good play.